Welcome to Hammer and Nails with Skip and Allison Bedell.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And hello.
In this corner, weighing in at a hefty, somewhere around 130.
No.
It is.
No.
Allison Bedell.
You're like 15?
No.
No. 120?
And I've never been.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See how much I know.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Hey, I'm Skip Bedell.
I'm Allison Bedell.
Welcome back to Hammer and Nails Podcast, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Really,
Once
dude?
again.
Really?
Look at this. I got to take him off the table.
Really?
Yeah, because I just fed him, but yet his universal signal, that would be our 17-year-old Devon Rex cat, is to eat the homework. He
likes to run through the
Yes.
studio and just like grab any piece of paper and like chew it.
But he's a classic case of doing it for attention because he knows that it will get him, like, either you get up and you feed him or you do something.
Yeah.
Because he looks at you while he does it. And he
Yeah.
doesn't move until you physically get up and you are almost with your hands on him. Does he stop?
Smart, yeah. He
He's
knows.
so fucking smart.
He's gonna make you come over.
Our
there.
office is covered with chewed paper, like bills and
He jumps on
important
the
documents.
desk and just like shreds the whole place.
Yeah.
We don't even need a paper
No.
shredder, right?
No,
I
and
just
it-
realized that.
Important things have, like, not just like tooth marks, but like they are like portions missing, like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
he does.
That's the problem. Like, he shreds even the good stuff.
Yeah.
Not even,
Right.
There's some things you want to
Right.
shred, but not like, you know.
And he eats the
everything.
paper, but he also licks photographs. When there's photographs or something, like a picture or something, he licks it.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does it on the desk. And then he also does one of those things like a cartoon, like running in place, like where, and then all of a sudden everything's thrown off the desk while he does it.
Picture like there's a stack of papers and he gets on it like he's running on a treadmill,
And it
just
goes
like
flying.
peeling off layers of paper that are going flying off the desk, but he's still running in place.
Yeah.
He's like doing burnouts on the
And it's like you can't. It's almost comical at this point because he's not malicious and he's 17. He's over 17,
Wow.
and he kind of gets a free pass because
Yeah.
it's like, what are you gonna do?
He's doing good though.
Yeah, I'd
doing
rather
good.
have
He's
him
hanging in
here
there.
eating paper than not. So I'm not complaining.
All right.
Yeah, so
Podcast time.
I have so much to talk to you about.
Really?
But yeah,
Tell
there's-
me.
Well, because
I
last
feel
time.
like you haven't talked to me in so long.
Well, not since last episode where we talked for almost 2 hours, and I was like, "Oh my god, I've had enough of him until Friday."
Yeah. Well, since then, I think I've hardly seen you. So yeah. Okay.
Not really.
Let's
but,
catch up.
But we that was a long one.
I
That was a
know.
long one.
That was like an epic cast.
Yeah, and we could have kept going. We had to like literally stop ourselves, and so
Well,
there's.
you could have kept going. I was ready to be done.
I know. And even today, though, it is an exhausting, hot, humid day here in NY. And it's the kind of weather that if you're outside in it, it makes you feel like doing nothing. It makes you feel physically exhausted.
I love those days.
Yeah, so that's
it's
why I'm
always
in-
like that on the days that I have to do the most physical stuff outside. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Like, when I'm working inside, then it's like...
It always turns out that way.
it's-
And I'm inside in our beautiful new air conditioning that we talked about before, and I just can't say enough about how awesome this new air conditioning is because it is a dry, cool. It feels like this awesome, clean air. It's not like regular air conditioning. It's
that was a great
1,000
system.
times
We
better.
talked about it, I think, a few podcasts
Mini
back.
split,
It's
right?
the Fujitsu mini split system, which can run either air conditioning or like heating through your house.
I think that you're going to do or include this type of a product on a segment, right, on our Fox and
I am,
Friends?
yeah. I'm talking about doing right now with the executive producer of Fox Morning Show, doing a segment on these units. And I think we're going to do it like the first week in August. So, yeah, that's coming up like right around the corner.
Aha.
So, yeah.
And can we just mention what we did today?
Oh, we can.
We can mention it. No reason
Yeah,
not to.
That's right. Yeah, we are past the point where we can't talk about it anymore. Don't say anything.
Yeah, or I'll just like bleep over things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we signed some paperwork today.
We did. We are now signed to our new production company located here in New York. It's
Woohoo!
Angle Entertainment. And they are just a great company. We're really excited to be working with them. They
It
have
was
an
a long
unbelievable
selection
creative
process.
department. And we're working on some really great new concepts.
They have
great
some
new
really
shows.
good ideas, and
Yeah.
their mission is to now develop more good ideas, and we're just really excited because they're excited to have us, and so in turn we're excited to have them, and I just really, really have a good feeling about them because they are not like other entertainment business companies in that they don't seem unethical. They seem like really good people. They care about the quality of their products. If you watch any of their shows, they Northwoods Law. They have. I think it's on what channel is it on again?
It's on Animal Planet.
Animal Planet. Yeah, or is it National Geographic? Is it
They
Animal
have,
Planet?
They have a couple on National Geographic.
Yeah, they have
Animal Planet also.
their type of programming. They are not about sensationalism or making a storyline exaggerated just for the entertainment value. They're about quality entertainment and telling a real story and having the interesting part of the story be the realism of the story and not making us be somebody or something that we're not.
Well, that's like, I mean, you guys all know us from Catch a Contractor, and that I've said it 1,000 times. I'll continue to say it forever. It's the realest reality show on television, and that's the reason why we signed up and we agreed to do it. When the idea was, kind of in development before it was even became a show, is because we both wanted to be part of something that was, real, and it was what we do every day, and we can use our skills to help people. And now we're looking at some other really great shows right now that just seem like, they're perfect for us.
Yeah.
And we can continue on that mission to help people. And, it's just going to be exciting. It's
Yeah.
fun stuff. So we're
And
really, really very stoked about this whole thing
I'm feeling
right now.
fairly confident that, unlike my experiences in the past, that I will not be, for lack of a better word, discriminated against for my tattoos and for my breast size. Like, I will be
never
able
discriminate you against you for your breast size.
No, you didn't. But I wasn't allowed to wear what I wanted to wear. I was repeatedly told to change the length and the color of my hair. And like at every turn, I was told to look different, and our personalities didn't really come out. Like people who watched Contractor had no fucking idea what huge clowns both of us are, because
we
it
like
was
to have fun,
our
but,
personality wasn't allowed to show.
That show is like a really serious topic, and it wasn't really about clowning around and having fun, which is obviously the comic portion of that. Corolla fueled all of that.
Well, I mean, if there was a
he's,
portion where we're laughing or there's a joke made, it got cut out.
But he's perfect for that. He's the master of that stuff, and it was such a great combination of the three of us to be able to work together.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying I loved the way the show came out, but it was very
me too.
frustrating to me that they wanted us to be portrayed with an element of our personalities instead of the whole of our personalities. Like when there was jokes made, sometimes there was something hysterically funny between you and Adam, and you were the one who made the joke, but they couldn't show it because Adam's
the
the
with that.
comedian.
We've been through this many times with them. There's a lot of stuff that never makes it to air because it just isn't enough time, right? So we would film close to 100 hours average to get the less than 1 hour that you see on TV. It works out to be about 40 minutes of actual camera time after you take the commercials out and everything else. So all that footage, the biggest problem we had on the show is what to cut out, and what to keep, because there's so much good stuff. So they have to really focus on sticking to the storyline, and any little bits of stuff that's outside of that usually you didn't see because it just wasn't time, and every 10 seconds counts, right? So I'm hoping that now we're hoping. That's another great thing about working with this new company is that we're coming on as executive producers as well, so we'll really be part of the creative portion of the show, and we can really kind of focus on doing some great things.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to getting back to where we can continue to help people and also use our skills every day.
That's
to
going
do
to be
some good
exciting.
stuff.
So they're looking to do shows for either Skip alone, me alone, the two of us together. Like there's no limits.
Yeah,
So-
I would like to do another show with you, because it was great to be able to work together as a team
Yeah.
like we did on Catch a Contractor.
Yeah.
Not to mention, it's a lot of traveling, a shit ton of traveling involved,
Yeah.
and it's like the less time we spend away from each other, the better. So
Right.
it's great that we get to work with each other, like with Catch a Contractor.
That was a blessing.
30 episodes, and we were able to do it all together.
Yeah, yeah.
Even like the last season, most of my time was spent in California. You were in New York,
Right.
flying back and forth every week. but still we're able to work together, you know. So as opposed to being 3 or 4 months apart,
right?
You know, and me in one part of the planet and you on another, and so.
And it's also really nice that this production company is in New York City, so that way it'll be a lot easier for us to drive into the city for meetings or for photo shoots or promotion or development meetings or whatever. Right. Because it's only like an hour away. Right. So that's awesome for us, too.
So really good news. That's exciting
stuff.
Just
really
today,
exciting.
The pen touched the paper just this morning. So it's been months and months in planning.
Yeah.
And it's finally happened.
Yeah.
And now we are off to the races, and we got some great stuff that we're working on. An unbelievable team of creative people that are putting together an awesome couple of shows.
Yeah, they really put together some nice things.
The next couple of shows, I think, right? So.
Yeah. And also, on a similar note, I had made mention of iHeartRadio previously. That is forthcoming. I hadn't realized that they have to manually, they're like manually going through every podcast that was submitted to them. Because they already started having podcasts on iHeartRadio, but in order to they have to go. They're not going to just air everything that got submitted to them through the server that we're on. They are going to manually go through each one. So once they approve it, then it's going to be on. But in the meanwhile,
go through them. What do you mean go through them? Like listen to them and like?
No, I don't know that they're listening.
Content?
No, I mean like we don't. Well, first of all, I already put that it's explicit. And also, you know, and so they already are aware in advance. You know, as long as you advertise if it's explicit, then people have the choice to listen or not, as opposed to not putting explicit and then you're listening and talking about dick and pussy. So with that,
not necessarily in that order,
right? So with that in mind, you know,
don't forget to throw a couple of boobs and farts in there too. Boobs and farts are very important. They rank high on the list of priorities.
Yeah, so it's just a manual process for when I'm told, and so it's just a matter of time. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't pass the inspection. So that don't forget also that we are now on YouTube. So now and that we've been getting. Slowly, more listeners, so I can see that people are clicking on the YouTube and listening as opposed to, I guess, wherever else they would have gone, which is really nice because it makes it really easy for people who aren't tech savvy or people who want to share it with a friend. It makes it so much easier to tell people about the podcast and also to listen to it. Some people don't have access to iTunes because they got Android, but everybody's got the internet. If you got the internet, you've got YouTube. And if you got YouTube, you got Hammer and Nails.
There you go.
It's very exciting.
That is an easy way to listen.
Yeah. So speaking of internet, I was on Facebook and a couple of days ago, and I was going through. I was looking at it on my phone, and I was on Messenger. That's like the separate Facebook app where you can do all the direct messaging.
That's where I get all the dick pics, by the way.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Stop it.
That's where I erase all of the titty pics.
Okay.
And
you just leave the dick pics on there? Great.
So I found this section. There's like
you know who you are. Stop it.
It's okay. We don't mind. So then there is a section. I don't remember. Like there's the people that I'm conversing with on Messenger is like at the top of the screen, and then in the middle is like showing me because they change it. They're always updating it. In the middle was like showing me who's online now, and the bottom there was some section of things. I don't remember what it had been called, but it was ones that I hadn't looked at yet, messages. So I had clicked on this the other day, and I'm going through messages, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? It's messages that I would have wanted to see and respond to. I think that some of them I think that these are messages from people. They were in a filtered box. And I think they might have been from people who aren't my Facebook friend, but they wrote to me anyway. And I've never seen them before. These messages went back, and I'm talking hundreds of messages. They went back 2014 even.
Wow.
So I started looking through all of these messages, and some people wrote really nice things to me, to us, about the show, about us, and they were asking us questions. I mean, it was like all stuff I would have wanted to respond to. So I started replying to people. Like, first you have to accept the message, and it says if you don't accept the message, they won't see that you deleted it or rejected it. But so I started accepting some messages.
2014. Hey, sorry, it just took me a little while to get back to you.
That's what I said to people. I'm like, I'm really sorry that I haven't responded yet, but I never saw your message before until now. So I started replying to a lot of people because there were some really nice things, and I wanted to respond and thank. I love to thank people for listening or watching the show and answer their questions, especially if it's a nice message they took time to write. There's like the ones that were like, oh, you look hot, like I delete, and then the ones that go in a foreign language,
which was
delete.
Most of them.
Yeah, the ones that don't have a picture because they're like fake accounts, delete. There's like a lot of weeding to go through in that. And I think there was like 7 or 8 fake Allison Bedell accounts, delete. So I don't know what that was all about, but I had to weed through it all. But there were some really nice messages, so I'm still going through it. I ended up actually like making a new friend on there through this messenger. We had a nice long conversation about all kinds of stuff and the dogs and a lot of personal stuff. And she was super, super nice. And so just meeting nice people. So if you guys ever wrote to us and if it was a good letter instead of something stupid and we didn't write back, if you didn't write us a dumb letter and we didn't write back, it wasn't on purpose. It's because we probably didn't see it.
There you go.
If you wrote something stupid,
you're
in the circular file.
A lot of comments from especially show related stuff all the time. And I remember like there was a point there to where it was just
you can't reply to everything.
You can't possibly
we try.
We definitely try, and I know like especially when the show is airing here in the States, it's just like ridiculous, So we try to spend a lot of time actually answering people's questions, and some of the questions, especially for me, get pretty detailed because they're asking about whatever construction. It's not like a one-word answer; it's like paragraphs.
Speaking of which, actually, I have a potential possible new client for you.
Oh, wow.
Remind me to show you the message. A guy, I was conversing with a guy who's here on Long Island. He's fairly close, actually. He is and as it turns out from conversing with this guy, he's the cousin of a girl who was very good friends with my ex-wife. But the girl, which means nothing. It's a nice. The girl was nice, and I'm sure her cousin's nice too. But there's a connection there, and so he has a friend who has a house that like had a really bad fire, and he needs a new contractor, and that's the story. So I'm going to give you the information.
Okay,
you can make that contact.
Let's build that place up for him.
Yeah, I thought that would be fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like, it's weird because like that's what happens. I think everything kind of happens for a reason. Like it seems like now. All of a sudden, like, people are like, hey, I need this done, or hey, like, are you home? And I'm like, and we're home. We're in New York. So it's like, it's just funny how, because there were times when I was in California to where there was a lot that I couldn't do.
Yeah.
So now it's like, it's actually working out well, and we're almost done here at the house in the final stretch. Cabinet's coming.
Yeah.
2 weeks. So excited about that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to. Going to be a busy fall, I think.
Yeah, I hope so. That'll be nice.
Kitchen, bathrooms, and all kinds of stuff going on. Other people's stuff.
Yeah, so that's exciting, and I got a good feeling about this guy. I did some research on him, and he looks like he's okay, trustworthy as far as the referral.
Your, private investigation.
Yeah, I did my due diligence, and he looks
diligence.
like he looks like a decent guy to refer somebody who's a good client.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
So that's nice. What else was there? So I had heard from Derek Berlinski, we've mentioned him before on the podcast. He's a listener. He is a contributor.
Awesome. Yeah, he's been around for a long time.
He's been writing to us for a really long time, and I really like talking to him, and he listens like religiously. Every time it comes out, he hears it right away.
Yeah,
which is very nice. And he always comments on something, which is also very nice because I like when people give us feedback or they got a question or whatever.
Yeah, he's always got good questions too.
Yeah,
for Tip Tuesday.
Yeah, I like that. So he had written to me about our conversation regarding dumping cable. So I, in the meanwhile, had been doing a lot of research on ways to get all of our programs, including live TV, and dumping cable because the cable bill is ridiculous. And it's like this monopoly, and we don't have choices here. So I first started looking into various ways that we can watch live TV, and I came across first the Sling app, where you can get a lot of live programming. And then I thought of the Sling box, because that's a thing like where you attach it to your cable box, and you can watch everything that's on that cable box by logging into the Sling box via your smartphone or laptop or whatever other device through the internet.
Okay.
And I was going to go in that direction. The Sling Box is between $150 and $200, depending on which model you get. So I was going to head in that direction, and then Derek wrote to me and told me that he has the Amazon Fire Stick. Now, the Fire Stick is almost the same thing as a Roku or an Apple TV. And we have 2 Apple TV boxes. And for us, the Apple TV, we also have a Roku. But we like the Apple TV more because it interfaces with all the other Apple products so that we can mirror onto the television, which is when you're watching something like, Pornhub or, on your phone, you can mirror
I
it
don't know what you're talking about.
onto your television, and whatever you're looking at on your telephone, you can watch it on your television. So there's been some times like where we will want to watch a video, or even like if the videos that you have on your iPhone,
right.
There is no other way to watch iPhone videos on your television other than mirroring. Because other devices you can't connect to the iPhone to grab that data. So with that in mind, we got the Apple TVs. But he was telling me about the Amazon Fire Stick. Now, the reason he loves that so much is because of this whole new thing that I've learned about since he sent me this information, because I'm like a research hog. This thing called jailbreaking. There is this thing that people do, and I know everybody's heard of a jailbreak you've heard of that, right? With a phone?
Does it involve like a birthday cake and a hacksaw? I don't know, throwing it out there.
Do you know what it means when people get a jailbroken phone?
Is there any like soap picking up or anything like that? Or like what exactly do you have to do to watch this TV show? I just need to know in advance because I'm not really sure that I want to get involved with this.
Don't drop the soap. Okay, so from what I understand of it, a jailbroken phone is a phone that the internal coding has been revised so that you're able to access things that you weren't able to access before. Uh-huh. Now, the first thing that came to my mind was with the words jailbreak is illegal.
Right.
And I am not about doing that because some kind of shit always gets fucked up. So I looked further into it, and it turns out that there are certain devices that it is legal by federal law to jailbreak. And so long story short, it is legal to jailbreak this Amazon Fire Stick and download this program onto it. It's called Kobi, K-O-B-I. It used to have a different name. But essentially what it is like in the olden days when you would buy...
Way back in the olden days.
Yeah, when we were, like in the 80s. When you would buy a hot cable box and you were able to get all the channels, the HBO and all that, without paying the cable company.
Right.
It's similar to that. This Kobi allows you to download everything. It's got like all of the HBO, the Showtime, like the HBO Go, and all of the networks, and like 10 Channel 7s, 10 Channel 2s, and it's got a selection of movies, every movie, some of which are still in the theater. Everything that you can find on the internet, you can stream through this app on the device, and it's legal.
Wow.
And not only can you buy them already jailbroken, but you can also look at a multitude of videos on YouTube on how to jailbreak your own. So, with that in mind...
You can jailbreak the TV itself. You have a smart TV.
If you have a smart TV, you can jailbreak your TV as well. So what I read is that if you jailbreak the Apple TV, though, which you can do, the only downside of that is that you will no longer be able to get the updates that Apple sends. Because, there's always updated versions of iOS, and sometimes they add different programming that you can get on the Apple box.
Right.
You can no longer update it if you jailbreak the Apple box. So I said, you know what, let's leave our Apple boxes alone. I ordered a Fire Stick. I'm going to jailbreak it. I'm going to see how that works. Because if you can watch the live TV, which it said, these people, they say that you can. If we can get our live TV with the Fire Stick, then our problem is solved. And we are dumping you, Optimum TV. Fuck you, Optimum, and your $230 bill every month. So I'm like really itching for ways to watch everything without having to pay the cable company.
Yeah, well,
I don't mind cable. I don't even mind paying HBO. I don't mind paying the premium services. I don't like paying for all this bullshit that they force you to have in these packages that you don't watch, but you still got to pay the same price. It's the same fucking thing as paying for the goddamn cheeseburger when you go to the McDonald's and you say no bun and they charge you the same.
That's you. You never get the bun. And
Yeah.
you're like, how come you charge me extra if I ask for cheese or I add something to it, but if I tell you to take something off,
Yep.
you don't like reduce the price?
Right, exactly. Pisses me off. So, it's like the whole monopoly of cable really pisses me off, and I'm rebelling.
You're a rebel.
Yeah, I'm a rebel with a cause. So
The cause is to get free TV.
yeah, you know what? I don't mind paying for what I use. I have no problem whatsoever with that.
I don't think it's no secret that that's the way the entertainment industry is gearing to. Everything is going toward the digital platform, and it's going to be like people pay like a la carte, like for what they want. They don't necessarily want to pay for all these big packages anymore. And that's exactly what we're talking about. This has been buzzing around the industry. We've been hearing this for years, and that presents a situation for people that are on the other side of that industry, like we are, because that's how we get paid from advertisers that watch, that actually buy airtime on our
the
shows.
irony.
Right. So it's like, but the industry is changing now, and people that do what we do are getting paid differently, or the advertisers are showing up in different places. They're getting space on digital spaces, on other platforms like Netflix and, YouTube channels are huge now. People are spending tons of money on that to get advertising on that. So it's interesting to see how the whole industry is changing, and you kind of have to just like go with the flow because it's happening. It's you're not going to be able to stop it. So you can either be part of it or get left behind.
Right.
So
So I will keep everybody updated as to our success in getting all of the channels and live TV that we would like to get. And we might just be getting rid of that cable sometime soon.
What about the dish thing? We never looked into that, right? Like,
It's the same thing. You're paying for a whole bunch. That's what Derek has. He's like, I can't fucking wait. He's like, because I was asking him, what about the live TV? And he apparently is not very tech savvy, and he was unable to figure out how to watch, like, what he wanted to with the live. I think he's combining this Fire Stick with his Dish TV because he's able to watch all the extra programming with the Fire Stick, and he's watching his regular programs on his Dish. So what I'm looking to is get rid of the cable altogether. So now it turns out I have to do I wanted him to do all the work and tell me if you can watch live TV. He couldn't figure it out, so now I'll do all the work. I think we're getting the stick in tomorrow's mail, and once I figure it out.
So he's keeping the Dish, and he's just jailbreaking the Fire Stick.
Because you can get the movies, you can get the HBO, you can get all the premium services. And you can get, like, movies, everything, digital.
Right.
So, so I will let y'all know as soon as I figure something out.
Yeah, keep us posted.
Yeah, because in the event that this doesn't give us everything that we need, including live TV, we will then go use the Sling Box.
That's Plan B.
That's Plan B. The Sling Box. Now, to say that the way that you use that is you attach it to a cable box that's not being used. So, for example, we had a friend who was moving out of state and was doing a lot of traveling. So he didn't want to miss his program. So he said, do you have an extra cable box in your house that you're not using? Like that's, like we have the one for the outside TV. And in the winter, we don't use it. And we always forget to give it back to the cable. So it sits on a desk. We pay for it monthly, but we don't use it. So we attached his Sling Box to the cable box. And that way he was able to go online, link into his Sling Box, and watch anything and everything that was available on our cable box, whether it be live TV or HBO, paid programming, everything.
He could hook that up to any TV he's at anywhere in the world.
Any cable box, yeah. He can hook it up to any cable box, and then it's like he can watch it.
No, on his end, wherever he is.
There was no box on his end. He would watch it with a mobile device, like a laptop.
He can be anywhere and watch TV from our cable box anywhere.
Anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, and now that there's smart TVs, you can hook onto the internet and watch it live on your television set, hooking up to the Sling Box.
Right.
So with that in mind, my dad has an extra box that he doesn't watch TV on, but, it's like one of those just in case I feel like sitting in this room cable boxes.
Yeah.
So we'll get a Sling Box, hook it up to that, and then watch TV on his cable bill.
Yeah, everybody's got an extra box laying around.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how it is. Right. Well, I mean, I'd rather split Dad's cable bill with him than pay ours in full.
I know. The cable bill, it's like ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Fuck you, Optimum.
You really get 700 channels of shit that you don't watch.
Right.
You know.
Right. So I'm looking for a way to watch shit legally without, I don't need no trouble with the law. I don't want to be fighting off the fuzz. So.
No, you don't want to do that.
No, I'm not about that. No.
All right. So cool.
Yeah. So that's another update. Do you have any other updates? Because I got a lot of things to talk about, but I don't want to take over.
No.
Really?
No, I'm excited to hear all the stuff that you got queued up here because I know you got some stuff going on in the news and very excited.
I have a lot of things. You can.
Me, I'm just all work stuff. It's all like stuff, building stuff that we're doing here, and
people like to hear about that.
I've been talking about that on every episode. So.
Oh well, in the last few days, you removed our outside and screen door. That was a 30-inch by 80, and 30 is very, very narrow. And so we were looking for a replacement door, a nice brand new one with maybe a nice glass door. And they don't exist in that size. That's a very limited selection.
It's a very small door for an entry door, the one that goes to the exterior wall. So why, I guess the homeowners that had the house before us, they had, actually it's an older house, and a lot of times, side doors and back doors. Yeah. Back door, side door can be...
before America got gluttonous.
Right. Front entry doors are, 99% of the time 36 inches wide. It's a standard size for a front entry. But back and side doors can be a little bit smaller. Ours was considerably smaller at a 30-inch door.
We had to go out of it sideways.
So really, we kind of walk sideways. So it definitely limited the types of doors we could put in there. So basically, I opened up the whole wall, reframed the whole thing.
Why did you do that?
Why did I do that?
Yeah.
Because we're looking to change the door and get a decorative glass.
That sounds like a good idea. How'd you come up with that?
What do you mean?
How'd you come up with the idea to widen it and get a bigger door?
Oh, well, yeah, if you hadn't told me how to do it, then I
didn't tell you how to do it. It was my idea.
Well, listen, the room has already been, the drywall's up and everything, the place has already been ready to finish. So now it's like, do you take the whole wall apart to widen the door because we can't find the glass that we want? So I said, all right, listen, we'll just open up the door.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We'll just open up the wall and reframe the door and put in a wider door because I have the space on either side between the cabinetry and stuff. So that's what we did. So it's a little bit of a project. You got to change the framing, the header, all the supports and everything. And
well, we have a nice brand new clean door that we can
sill in it, lifted it up because we got a cement base going in on Monday.
So now the door closes instead of it sweeping hard on the floor or you could never push the door and it nicely closed because it was old. Everything was old.
One of the other things that need to be redone in this kitchen. So. Yeah, so that was all done. Got a nice new storm door on the outside of a new Anderson storm door, which is great. It's got the
it's full glass, top to bottom,
retractable screen that folds up out of the top of the door, which I really like.
Yeah, all season.
Yeah, I actually love that door because it gives you full view. It's a full glass door,
but
half of it is screen, and it just rolls up into. So it's not like you have to take the whole glass out in the spring and put the whole screen in and swap it all out. You just one hand pull it down, and you're done.
Yep.
Put it right back up. So that's a great door that Anderson makes.
Yeah.
If you guys are looking for a new storm door or a screen door, check that out because there's some really nice options.
Oh, do you know what I'll do? I'll put a link to that style on our today's episode.
Yeah.
And also, but with this door that we got, because it's one of those where it's got half the door is like a square glass, with the design.
It's called a half-light, yeah.
It's called half-light.
Top half of the door is glass.
So that's a replaceable portion because what we were looking to do on the other door also was to replace the glass with something nicer, and they didn't come for that size door, but with this door it does. So in the future, after we win the lottery, we'll just replace that piece of glass with something like real styling that goes with the theme of our kitchen instead of just like that cross. What is it called?
There's right now there's just painted. It's a 9-light paned window that has mullions. You can see 9 little individual windows, which is a classic colonial style.
Right.
It goes with the rest of the windows in this house because all of our windows have the the panes on them.
I just realized that.
The door actually matches perfectly with the rest of the windows in our house, but it's not really decorative and it doesn't give you any privacy. So that particular insert, we can take out that whole half-light insert and put in, stained glass or decorative insert, and it fits right in there. So there's a lot of options at 32 or 36-inch width door. At a 30-inch width door, there's no options.
No options at all.
Yeah, so we are full of options now.
Yes, that's very exciting news.
I'm just riveting.
Yes. Oh, God,
Speaking of news.
No, well, speaking of TV, which I got off track with this door, I don't know how, when we were going back to TV, and the dish and the cable, let's talk about DirecTV. Okay?
DirecTV?
The DirecTV commercials.
Okay.
with John Bon Jovi.
Oh, yeah.
You see, you got the power to turn back time. Let's go back and let's rewind.
It looks like the clock's been turned forward, though.
Yeah, so my point is, people, tell me if you've noticed this. If the theme of the commercial is about turning back time, then why would they have old John Bon Jovi singing the song and not put a wig on him and digitally enhance his face to make it look like he's gone back in time? Hello? What the fuck?
That's turn forward time.
Yes, I mean he doesn't even like really.
He looks good though.
He looked good for a long time, but in these commercials he does not.
Yeah, but what is he like 60?
No,
I don't know. I mean, he's
he's in his 50s, low 50s, like your age or
no.
You're not in your 50s, but I'm saying
he's definitely older than me. He's
a little bit.
He's got to be mid 50s or something.
Even at that though, I mean, like you keep getting better looking. He looks like, ooh, like what happened in these commercials? Now in person, I don't know. You know, he might look better in person. Oh, and then when we talk about in person, let's get into that wedding video. Did we talk about that yet?
I think we already did.
Oh
yeah.
God, that wedding video where he sang with the fucking wedding band. He looked like he looked okay there, but he looked like a dick. But he looked okay. And then we heard some gossip about him this past weekend too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody, your sister's fiance's uncle knew somebody.
He knew a guy that knew a guy that
yes.
knew a guy.
But it was a very close connection. It was a reliable source. And they were telling us stories about how he was had a whole bunches of women like all at once. And
well, yeah.
But he was with his wife forever all along. She was with him all along.
I think he was more referring to Rich Sambora, though. It's stuff that used to go on with the band. And you were the guy that he was talking about was the band manager, their road manager.
He was talking about John Bon Jovi having a bunch of chicks at the same time.
Well, listen, what rock star doesn't do that?
Ones that are loyal and faithful?
Okay, well.
So what are you trying to say? If you get like a record deal, like you're going to cheat on me?
No, nobody wants to hear me sing.
You do.
No. Nobody wants to hear that.
You didn't answer the question, though. Very, very clever, Grasshopper. You just went right around that question.
No reason to even answer it. You already know the answer.
I do know the answer, so hence my point. So therefore, you can't just say because he's a rock star, he's expected to cheat on his then fiance. They've been together forever. And he was a very fucking good-looking guy. And she was very average. Still is.
Well, that's a crazy lifestyle. Traveling around, touring the world and everything, and that guy was he's like.
Are you going to break that credit card because you need to do something with your hand? Because I had to make 1,000 phone calls and then wait for it to come in the mail. Give it to me right now. Stop bending it. Give it to me.
Oh no.
Give it to me.
Nope.
You're going to break it by bending it that much, and you're not going to be able to use it. And you curled up the whole fucking thing on the front. Did you make that phone call and activate the card?
No.
So how are you going to know what number once you fucking ruin that sticker that you keep rolling around and fucking around with?
I can still read it.
Well, then don't touch it anymore, or else you won't be able to.
Okay, Mom.
Stop it.
All right, Mom.
Don't call me Mom.
Don't act like one.
Don't act like a 6-year-old who has to break everything and touch everything.
I have to be doing things with my hands.
I know
all the
you
time.
do. You've been like both last episode too, sliding that fucking credit card up and down, and then you had to pull that whole big fucking piece of yarn right out of the placemat as if it didn't belong there.
That's what I do.
You're annoying. I swear. You need to be handcuffed while we're recording. Touch everything and then break it and rip it and dig your fingernails into it.
Very busy.
You are. It's oh my
Doing
God.
Stuff.
It's like you got ADD. Just can't focus on the conversation. Now he's fucking with a pen and he's going to break the Milwaukee pen. I'm going to poke you in the eye with that fucking pen.
Whoa, what a mouth on you.
What a pest.
Wow, like a truck driver. All right, truck driving mom. Let's go. What else you got?
Let's rewind and not quit the gym and have a chance to say goodbye to Grandpa Tim. Oh, that's the power to turn back time.
Grampy Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a real desperate attempt.
I miss Grampy Tim.
To get something to rhyme with Jim. Really. So God. Stupid. That was a stupid one. I like the one, but right before that one, where they had, where they brought back the guy that she liked before you. And then her old ex-boyfriend popped up on the couch between her and her husband.
Oh yeah, there's another one. You don't see that one anymore.
You know why? I know why.
That one, he looked really
bad.
Really
old. That was the first one where he looked really, really old.
Yeah, but
the second
when I
one,
saw that commercial, I'm like, damn, John Bon
yeah,
Jovi got
really
old.
bad.
And then you stop seeing the one you see now. He looks a lot. It's a different camera angle,
Yeah,
better
yeah.
lighting, and he looks way better.
But you know what? The one that you don't see anymore. Well, you don't see the first one because it was the first one, but the second one you saw only very briefly, and that's the one that has the guy she liked before you. And the reason is because right before that, the line was something like, reconsider having that second kid. And then the kid that's drawn with crayons on the wall disappeared.
Oh, right.
And there was like these fucking family bullshit fucking, groups protesting the DirecTV commercial.
Really?
Because it was like not appreciating families and making like changing your mind about having a kid or having an abortion or like they were making a thing out of it. Yeah.
Now you
yeah. Because of the fucking joke of a commercial.
The pro-life people got on board.
Yes, and families are important. You just can't get rid of your kids if you don't want them.
How can you take the kid out of the commercial?
Yeah, or the kid is, just drawing on the wall. It's not a reason to reject your kids. Like, really? You fucking assholes. Everybody's looking for something to bitch about.
Yeah, don't even bother making a commercial because someone's going to figure out what's wrong with it.
I can't stand it. Everybody looks for something to fucking bitch about, I swear. People they want something to complain about, and they will find a way to twist it into something else.
They'll figure it out.
Oh, please. I can just say, even from what I just said before, like, I was talking during the day to the woman I met on Messenger. It's going to turn into, well, if you were talking during the day, you go to work during the day, so you must have been talking to her while you were at work. And if you're talking all day, you must not have been working all day. It's going to turn into something that it's not because people want to make it something that it's not. You know what I mean? It's like I have to analyze every fucking word now because of the way people are trying to turn shit into something that it's not. Yeah. Like that one fucking time I said, oh yeah, I was listening to the podcast too yesterday. And that turned into, you're listening to the podcast while you're at work and working on it.
Right.
No, I'm not. Fuck you from drawing fucking wrong conclusions. Like, people are just, I can't stand it. So everybody wants a problem.
Right. That's what they do.
People really have nothing better to do.
So there was a couple of things you said you were excited to tell me about.
Well, I think I told you some things I was excited about. Here's some extra things I'm excited about. Melania Trump plagiarizing Michelle Obama's speech from 2008.
I've seen that shit played over and over again on every newscast. It's like they keep playing the same two lines. It should repeat.
It's not
over
two
and over.
lines. It's more than that.
Enough already, though. It's like, who cares? So you think that anyone's political speech didn't come from some person that writes them for that?
Sometimes they do, but this is what caught my eye.
No politician speaks one word like that.
Okay,
it's all
and I don't even care what she says because if I did,
writing everything. That's why they use a teleprompter because someone else wrote it.
Had I cared about what Melania Trump has to say, I would have watched it. My interest in this particular incident is that Monday morning when they flew to, I think it was Ohio.
Right.
Matt Lauer got onto their plane and interviewed Trump and Melania.
Right, I saw that.
Okay, so he asked her.
She said I had just a little bit of help, but mostly I wrote it myself.
Correct.
Right.
And she said, I only read it back once because it was everything, that I wrote it. I only had a little bit of help. Okay. And that was what she said.
All right, so now if you really look at that thing, just to play like devil's advocate here, she spoke for almost 30 minutes, okay? And every time they talk about what she said that Michelle Obama said, they're referring to the same 2 or 3 or 4 sentences or lines or whatever.
There were significant pieces.
If you take that in context out of everything else that she said, it's surely a small...
Why in the world would you make such an argument when the fact of the matter remains that she plagiarized word for word portions of the speech, and contrary to what they were trying to argue, these weren't common phrases that people often say or think. There was nothing common about saying your word is your bond and you're going to do what you say and treat people with respect. That was in the order in which it was said, word for fucking word.
Right.
That's plagiarism.
I get that. So listen, first of all, whoever wrote that speech for her obviously should be fired because clearly they took words from someone else. If they're going to do that, they should at least change it up or put a different flavor to it or space it out differently.
True.
Right.
True. I agree with that.
Those
but you know what?
words
Also,
didn't come from her.
With that,
she didn't watch Michelle Obama and say, "I'm going to copy her."
I'm sure. But with that also in mind, now here's another flip side to that argument. You sat there and lied to Matt Lauer's face and all of America who watched you that morning by saying you didn't have help, you wrote it yourself, but you just had a little bit of help. Right. So she blatantly lied, and I have a problem with that. And I don't think it means anything about Trump. I don't think it has anything to do with the campaign. My issue is that if you didn't write it all, say it. If you had a lot of help, say it. If you gave somebody, your opinions and said, put together something like that, and I have a very heavy accent, and I don't speak, it's not my first language, I don't know how to put the words together, so you do it for me, and then I say that I got help.
All right then, Melania.
If you're going to do that, say it. That's all. People will understand that English isn't your first language and you need help. People understand that you don't have a good thought in your head, you need somebody else to come up with it.
Everybody is spending way too much time dissecting Melania Trump's message about her. Who cares, really?
I'm going to kick you in your fucking ball sack.
Well, you can try.
I swear to God.
You better run fast.
You're missing. You know what? So then I'm going to come up with a fucking lie.
After I jump up and down and they fall back down out of my
body. When I tell a big, long fucking story to you about something, but I'm just going to make a couple of pieces lies, but it's only a little bit. So, but Skip, I told you about 50 things. Only 2 of them were lies. You're not okay with that. It's not okay.
All I'm saying is there's a lot of time being spent on taking it apart. And clearly, she doesn't write her own speeches. None of them.
This is the wrong time to be fucking lying to the American public. Right. First of all, it's not. It doesn't look good, and it doesn't give me much faith in your intelligence or your integrity. Okay. And that's the opposite of what you want people to see in you right now.
Right.
I want to have faith in the family that I'm thinking is going to be the head of this country.
Is probably terminated right now.
No, actually, what happened then, now I don't even know if I believe that this person was the actual speechwriter. Don't you roll your eyes at me, motherfucker. I'll fucking put that straw right in your eye.
Really?
Yeah, this one right here.
I don't think so.
I'm going to try.
You can try hard.
I think that they had some martyr, jump on the sword for this particular case to say, oh, it was all my fault. I was talking to Melania on the phone, and she said to me she really liked Michelle Obama and was inspired by these things that she said. And I wrote it down as she was saying it to me on the telephone, but I didn't look up Michelle Obama's speech. So she's making it like she jotted notes and wrote the speech, and then Melania just went and read it. That's bullshit. Because if you're going to be giving a speech here at this convention for millions of people to watch, you can bet that there is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 levels of different people reading, rereading, and researching this shit. No. You're not going to have just one person writing your shit from what you said on the phone, handing it to you. Oh, good enough.
You'd think.
It shouldn't be happening like that.
Yeah, you'd think. They must have whole teams of PR people and everything else that prepare for their appearances and all that stuff. Everything from the way they look to what they say to the whole deal. So
some kind of idiocy happened over there.
People dropped the ball on that. For sure.
Yeah, and I just think you can have the same fucking sentiment because Michelle Obama kicked the shit out of that speech. Not only did she say good things, but she expressed it well too.
All right, well, you know what? Good
say it in a different way.
Her speech. Too bad her husband sucked for the last 8 years.
Irrelevant. I'm talking about a speech. Don't change the subject.
Exactly.
I'm talking about the speech, not the job her husband did.
Well, good. Let's hope that there's
stay focused.
Yeah, some big changes coming up.
People who are wrong always try to deflect. You're trying to deflect about what the
deflect.
speech by talking about her husband's job.
Talking about Melania Trump's speech. Who cares? Really? I mean, it's about what her husband's going to do, right? Clearly, somebody wrote that for her and didn't do a good job. So.
Don't you dismiss me, motherfucker. Put that credit card down. You know what? When you break that fucking card, I'm not going to give you mine, and I'm not going to make the phone call to get you another one.
Okay, thanks, Mom.
You know what? This mommy right here got you that fucking card because I spent time on the phone to get it. So listen, mom me and then sit there and break it in front of me.
They get destroyed and they get beat up and
you're bent. Doing it on purpose.
Yeah, so I have to get new ones all the time.
You know how many cars we went through because your shit didn't work or you lose it, or you didn't activate it, you don't know the PIN number. So I finally got your shit worked out for you, and now you're fucking bending it in half.
Listen, I can't doodle on a piece of
paper.
You
can doodle this piece of paper as long as it's got a magazine under it so you don't get the marks in the wood.
Wow. All right, you know what? I'm just going to sit here with my hands in my pockets.
Impossible!
Yeah,
I would love it if
I'm
you
just gonna
did that.
Sit on my hands.
Impossible. Fuck. I wish you would sit on your hands. I got 2 sets of handcuffs. I'll be happy to hook your hands right down there to the legs so that they're not right next to your hips and you can't do shit.
Yeah, good luck with that one, too.
Oh, God. So annoying.
You're going to need to call for backup.
Shit. So, well, one of these things... you got me so off track now. I swear to God, you distract me. Because I had another fucking point that I was going to make with that fucking speech thing.
Get to it already, then.
So I was
damn it.
reading the things that both camps were saying about, or I should say, like, you know, how they were trying to defend her saying the same exact words in the same exact order. And so somebody on their side was saying, was talking to CNN, they said, there's no cribbing of Michelle Obama's speech. These were common words and values. She cares about her family. To think that she'd be cribbing Michelle Obama's words is crazy. Yeah, okay, so crazy. Okay, word for word. But what that reminded me of was when I was in high school and there was this guy I was dating and I was talking to some girl who he had dated before me, and I don't know how it came up, but she told me something that he said to her, and I was like, holy shit, that motherfucker said the same exact thing to me. So I was like all upset and pissed off that he said the same thing to me. So I went over to his house later on that night. I remember this like it was yesterday, and I said to him, you know, like, and you said the same exact thing to her. And his answer to me, which I thought was so fucking clever for a high school guy, was, but I'm the same person. Like, yeah, like, it came from him. It was his thought. It was his original thought, and that's how he felt, and that's what he said, you know?
Right.
Like, that made total sense to me.
Yeah. And evidently it worked. He's like, yeah, so take that, bitch. Now
like,
what do you got to say?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I never forgot that. And it was so, I mean,
You're
that
all
shit was
huffing
like...
and puffing, running over like,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell him.
That was 30 years ago.
I'll show him. And then you walked out and they're going, yeah, he's got a good point.
Yeah, he did. I'm like, oh, yeah. How the fuck did he think of that? He was an idiot. He was like a
great.
fucking mental midget. He ended up having to go into the witness
He's a
protection
defense attorney
program.
right now, probably,
No.
by the way.
No. He turned out to be a
That's
really
perfect.
he turned out to be like a really successful stockbroker, but got caught on insider trading, and he had to go into the witness protection program. That was the end of his shit. Like after like maybe 20, like in our early 20s, never saw or heard from him again. He's somewhere in fucking Kalamazoo.
Right.
I don't know. He's got some like foreign name probably. Who
That's
knows?
great.
Yeah, that was some crazy ass shit hearing about that.
Yeah.
I heard yesterday. Excuse me, my mouth is so dry from flapping my jibs. I hate.
Yeah.
What's that look on your face? You want me to shut up? We're recording a podcast. I have to keep talking.
I'm listening in amazement. Go on.
So it turns out that Lenny Dykstra was on yesterday's Adam Carolla show.
Really?
Yes.
After his performance on Howard Stern.
Yeah, so that was a few weeks ago on Stern. So I first saw comments from people on the Facebook group about what an asshole he is, a piece of shit, and blah blah blah. And I'm thinking, yeah, you know, he is. Yeah, we already knew that because I heard the Stern thing. So then it occurred to me that some people I don't think had heard the Stern show based on what their comments were. So then I listened to the little boy's bell. Oh, he took his little toy. So then I went online and listened to Ace's interview.
Right.
And there was just no comparing. I don't know if Ace didn't ever hear about Stern's interview, so he didn't have the information to even maybe to bring up. Maybe he didn't want to because they're trying to clean up their act for Podcast One.
Right.
But it was a Pussycat interview as opposed to the Pussy interview.
Wow.
Yeah. It was. They didn't talk about any of the same disgusting bullshit that he talked about on Stern. It was like,
Maybe it was clean day.
I don't know.
It might have been the clean show day.
I mean, because I'm sure
Isn't he doing like rotating like regular Ace shows and then the clean
yeah, no,
version
twice a
show?
week it's a clean show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So meanwhile, you had to hear
Are
right
there
out of the
exact
fucking gate.
days that is
Yeah,
like
I think it's
every day of the week?
Wednesdays and something. I'm not sure what
I
else.
wonder
other
what
day.
the listenership numbers are.
I think everybody still listens,
on the
but I
clean
see a
days.
lot of comments from people that they're not that excited about. Like they feel like he what's the expression? Like Yeah, that's my dementia kicking
Caved?
in.
Sold out?
Yes, because like they don't like that he did that, and for the things that he used to criticize, he's now supporting. Like there are things that he used to make fun of, but now he's doing ads for them as if it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And a lot of people are commenting on the disparity in his original personal opinions to the things that he now supports. In favor of going along with Podcast One.
Well, Howard is the king of radio, and Adam Carolla, I think, is pretty much the uncontested king of podcasting. So
right.
maybe, it is a business for him, and this is what he
right.
does. He has a mecca business that he's built an empire of podcast shows. And they're paid by advertisers. So
yeah, all I can say is that if you don't like it, don't listen to it.
Yeah,
really, it's pretty much with everything. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. So people can talk about it and be critical, but if you don't like it, don't listen.
I think it's an interesting combination, though, that he chose to play ball a little bit with the people that are putting the show out with Podcast One, in the sense that he's offering a clean show version also, as opposed to his regular
It comes down to money,
right? Well, yeah, I mean that doesn't everything.
Something has to buy those race cars.
Exactly.
And he's like, whatever I got to do.
Yeah. That was the best thing I ever heard him say.
That's why he filmed Catch a Contractor.
I love Adam, and he's just a real dude, and he tells it like it is. And he's like, after going to see his place many times, his warehouse with all those race cars, and after going up to Monterey to see him race, and seeing his passion for racing. If you don't really know the guy well, or get to see the side of him that we got to see for years of working with him and hanging out with him, on a social friendly basis also. You start to understand, and he confirmed it one day over lunch on Catch a Contractor set. He's like, everything that I do, from the podcasts to the movies to the books to Catch a Contractor to the all the shows that he's done, it's all to make money to support his race car.
Right.
A passion.
Hobby, whatever.
Yeah. That's what he loves to do.
Yeah.
And it's a super expensive passion. I mean, you got to have a shit ton of money, because he has a full-time operation.
Yeah.
He has a full-time monster warehouse full of race cars that have around-the-clock full-time mechanics and race tech guys, and all they do is build his race cars every day.
Yeah.
And then they travel around the country and race the cars.
Yeah.
And it's that takes shit tons of money to do that. So he's like, yep, that's what I love to do, and everything is just to make enough money so I can race my cars.
Yeah.
So, hey,
Yeah. And
God
plus
bless him. So
yeah.
if he's got to do a couple clean podcasts to keep racing cars, then, I'd say, he's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll just keep talking about, pussies and farts and make
pussy farts.
And make, queefs. We'll just keep talking about queefs and make no money. So, who's doing a better job there?
Oh, God. I don't think, I don't know that I'm even capable of cutting out some of the dirty of things that I say, but I will tell you this. I am extremely censored, keeping in mind that you're on Fox and Friends and that we're in relationships with some major tool companies, and I definitely hold back a lot of what I even would want to say, keeping in mind that I don't want to go there because I don't want to turn off any potential endorsements.
Right. Well, our national brands and stuff and people that we're involved with, and it's obviously this is not a family show. This is an explicit
right.
show.
And I put that it's explicit.
It's us, two people sitting around and having a conversation, really. So I mean, if you were here in our house or in the studio or whatever while we're just having a conversation, this just like any other normal people, you would hear things that you're not going to tune in with your kids. This isn't that type of show. It's not going to be aired on the Disney Network.
Right.
And we're not trying to have it be. But yeah, I understandably, when you're trying to also have a dual role and get involved with companies that have that philosophy and those values behind them, the family-driven values, you definitely have to walk a careful line.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I always have that in the back of my head. And
well, good. Try to keep it in the front of your head too, because that stuff pays me and this stuff doesn't. So
yeah, but I also because from the beginning we talked about a lot more stuff, and then it came to light that family members were listening to the podcast when they shouldn't have been, or I'm surprised they would even have wanted to. Like once you hear about your child, their sexual escapades, that's when you turn off the podcast and say, my ears are on fire, I'm never listening anymore.
Right.
But no, people are gluttons for punishment, and now it's like that ruined it for me too. That really affected my performance on the podcast. Hearing about family members listening
Well, I
to
don't
the
know
podcast.
so much about the performance, and
absolutely
we
it
don't
did.
sit here and think. We just kind of talk about the stuff that
There are things that I want to talk about that I don't talk about.
Everyday stuff, but when you start now, if you listen to Stern, you listen to Adam, you listen to a million other podcasters and radio shows that are successful shows, they talk about family members and stuff all the time, and it's just like what happens. But not everybody feels the same way, and some people, get offended by it. And even though we don't throw out any names, you have to be careful of the stuff that you talk about, and you learn along the way what to do, what not to do, right? So,
well, there's a lot of things I'd like to talk about that I haven't,
right.
And it bothers me that I don't. I feel like my privacy was invaded in a way, even though it's a public forum. I wouldn't want to hear this stuff from my kid or my grandkid or like, you know what I mean? Like there's like your mom, for example, she doesn't listen. Because there's a couple things she heard that she realized, she's like, nope, this isn't for me.
She listened to a couple and she's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not listening to anymore.
Right. And for that, I'm grateful. And I think she made the right decision. Because when we first put out the podcast, we were like, everybody, listen to it. But we didn't know what we were going to talk about. It was before we started putting out some crazy shit that was on our mind. And then once it started getting a little raunchy, I was happy that she didn't want to listen.
It's not even really raunchy. It's just like, if you're sitting around and talking with two people that are adults that are going to talk about stuff that's like everyday real stuff, it's like going to an R movie.
Agreed, but you wouldn't have told the hairy nipple story to your mother at the dinner table.
No. Probably not.
Or probably never.
Probably not. No.
Right.
Along with a lot of other stories.
Right. Ditto.
Yeah, just because it's not like conversations that you're going to have with your mom.
Right. So I had a conversation about masturbation. We talked about that, and my first experience or lack thereof for many decades of my life.
Right.
And then we talked about something else on that same podcast. And then when somebody's talking to you about that other part of the podcast, you say to yourself, well, if they heard that, then I know they heard the other stuff.
Yeah, you're like,
And that's when you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That wasn't meant for them to hear. And
hey, Dad, don't listen to this.
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. So, it's like it makes me like cringe. And so it really ruined it. It fucked me up because I'm not speaking freely. And I feel like I'm being hindered because of that invasion of our privacy in a way. I feel like
but it's not privacy though, because this is like, we put it out there for people.
It's assumed that you don't want your mom listening to you talking about sex.
Right.
Okay?
If they choose to listen, you might be sorry for it. Careful what you wish for.
I mean, just like common sense dictates that you don't listen, if that's the case. With that in mind, let me see what else I was going to tell you about. Oh, so the Dykstra interview was actually lame. I started text messaging with Gina Grad.
Right.
I had quite a nice conversation with her yesterday.
She's awesome.
She's so fucking awesome.
Love Gina Grad.
Yeah.
She was on our show.
Yes.
Did a little phone interview with her, right? She's great.
Yeah. And so I wanted to see if she was absolutely skeeved out by Lenny Dykstra like I was just by listening to him. And
she was in person with him, right? He was there in the studio.
This was before I had actually listened to their podcast. I just saw that he was on. I saw the people's comments on Facebook, and I was like, oh, God. So I wrote to her right away. Right. And I was saying to her, like, I'm saying, like, he's disgusting. He's a fucking animal. He's like, but I wasn't feeling like she was getting it.
Right.
So then I said to her, you got to listen to Stern's interview, because he said this and he said this. And she's like, what? Oh, my God. And then I finished listening to Ace's interview, and I was like, okay, just finished your interview, and you have no fucking idea what you're in for when you listen to the Stern interview. It's a whole other guy, and when you listen to that, you're going to be even more disgusted that you sat even in the same room with him.
Wow.
Like, because he's just a disgusting animal. And yeah, so she can't wait to listen to it because her boyfriend is also really into. He was a fan back in the day as well. Like we're all around the same age. So
it's so funny that especially like sports people or even like stuff that what we do, whatever. Like if you're in the public eye in any way, and then like fast forward 20 years down the road after your career is you're retired or whatever, and then something like the Lenny Dykstra interview with Howard Stern comes out, and you realize there's this whole side of this person that you have no idea what they're into, all this crazy like kinky stuff, or like he has like a criminal past or whatever.
Yeah.
You just see the guy on TV hitting a baseball, and you're like, wow, he's like a baseball superhero.
Yeah,
but you had no idea he has like this whole like deviant, decadent side. Right?
Like they knew he didn't have teeth at in Ace's studio, but they didn't realize that he doesn't get new teeth because it helps him eat better pussy. You know what I mean? Just like things like that, like. It's I looked online because somebody on.
See, I don't get that whole thing. What you just said, it eats better.
You know what? It's a fucking excuse. It's because you're a piece of shit bum, and bums don't get their teeth replaced, and you're a bum. That's why. Don't try to come up with some fucking fancy reason why you don't do it. You know what I mean? It's like, who doesn't want to have the teeth in their mouth?
Right.
Really? Disgusting. He's just so gross. And what makes me even madder is that he looks like a bum. He's just so disgusting looking. The way he talks like he's God's gift, it makes me sick.
Yeah, you definitely got to hear the Howard Stern interview.
You got to look at the Howard Stern website and look at his picture there.
Oh, my God.
And so one of the guys on this...
I was like, Lenny, what happened, man?
Fuck, yeah, what happened? I mean, I literally...
Dude.
Did I tell you about this banner that I made when I went to the World Series? And it was because I used to go to, me and my dad had 1986 season tickets. Right. We went to lots of games in 1986. Right. So I made this big, huge, I took 2 huge pieces of poster board, and I made this huge sign, I heart Lenny. And I would walk around it was like a Half Moon Stadium. I would go on one end holding up my big cardboard sign, I love Lenny, and I would walk around from one end to the other.
That's
back
really
and forth.
Funny, man.
Yes.
Now, if you could have fast forwarded to that Howard Stern interview.
Fuck. I wouldn't even allow him to polish my shoes. Okay,
Oh,
he's a disgusting lowlife bum.
So
I couldn't be more disgusted with him. And thank God he said no when I asked to kiss him. Thank God.
That's funny that he actually said no.
And yeah, especially all the escapades that he talks about, which I
so
question the truthfulness.
Signing autographs or signing his book, whatever the hell he's doing, and you're standing online. You finally get
I
up
stood
to
online
Lenny
for hours.
For hours to meet Lenny Dykstra, take a picture with him, and you get up there and you say, "Would you mind if I give you a kiss?" And he's like, "No."
No, sorry, because then I have to, because then everybody else is going to ask.
No.
Really, dude?
What a douche.
Yeah. How the tables have turned.
Right, yeah, right? That's great.
Disgusting. Yeah, so somebody linked a video on the Facebook. They were showing that there was some show, I don't know if it was on television or where it was, but it was showing about, this was years ago, back when he had all these car washes and he was doing very well financially. And they were showing how he's this great investor mogul, and he's got all these millions, and he's got these planes, and he's got all these cars, and this giant mansion, and blah blah fucking blah. And then there was something else on, I don't know if it was a 2020 piece, and then also some other internet piece where they were tearing apart everything that he was saying, and they were showing afterwards his house was empty, he filed for bankruptcy, and they were asking him about, well, you've got all these creditors, people saying that you're not paying your bills to them, and there's a flight attendant from one of your planes. He's like, fuck that flight attendant. He's like, fuck her, I don't owe her any money. And he was saying that, but about the printing on something, he's like, that's bullshit. He was not paying people. They're like, how is Lenny Dykstra turn into any kind of genius of anything? They're like, it was all bullshit. It was trying to make himself seem like he's something that he's not. Right. And people are saying about, with all these stories about all these women, yeah, okay. So you had it going on like that. I don't know. He's just over the top with his stories. Listen to the interview on Stern if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. No, I heard it. That's everybody else, though, listening to this podcast right now. You guys got to check that out. Lenny.
So,
all right.
I just wanted to put a little thing out there for the ladies. Actually, not just for the ladies. It's for anybody. This is totally off topic. I was talking about my face products that I use.
Right.
And I just wanted to say that in the same line of products that I use that I put links to in our episode summaries, I started using one of their moisturizing creams for acne prevention, and it is working like a charm. I started getting some stuff like on my neck area here, down by the jawline, and because some of the medications I take make me get kind of acne-ish, and my pellets, my testosterone pellets.
Right.
This cream working like a charm. I can't even believe it. Like every day I notice that it's going away more and more and more. So there's a serum and a moisturizer that I'm using, and it's got some, what is it called in there? What's the name of that chemical? I don't remember. Anyway, it's prevention of acne, and it really fucking works. If you're finding yourself with a little bit of acne problem, I'm going to put a link to that also on the episode summary, because I'm amazed how well it's working. It's really it's making my stuff go away. It's awesome.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Similar to like the proactive type of stuff?
No, it's just, what the fuck is it called? It starts with an S, something, salicylic acid. But it's not greasy. It's just a nice moisturizer, and it's got this stuff in it, and but it works.
It's like magic.
It is like magic, because I moisturize very thoroughly every morning and every night. I use day cream and night cream and eye cream.
You are
I put a serum on top. Yeah. And I also every night I use toner, to clean my skin before. I use an exfoliating scrub to wash my face with. There's a whole fucking thing I go through for this skin to try to keep it youthful. And that...
Hey, whatever you're doing, it's working, so just keep doing it.
Thank you, my love. I have actually lost fine lines as a result of all the stuff that I'm doing.
No way.
Yeah, a huge difference. I don't have like in here in the middle anymore, in between my eyebrows.
Right.
It's very, very fine line right here, but it used to be deeper. My forehead used to have deeper lines.
Oh, yeah, it was like a roadmap. Yeah. It's like little landmarks there. It's like, like this way to Albuquerque and like...
Asshole.
Yeah. 7 miles to the next gas station. Yeah.
You're an idiot. Swear to God. God. Anyway, I'm going to put the links to those products. Do you have any ant stories, like with ants?
No. I can't
No?
say that I do. Ants?
Yeah.
Like ants that like crawl around on the ground?
Yeah.
Or like your aunt and uncle?
Ants on the ground.
No.
Like no traumatizing stories with ants?
No, I'm no.
I was listening.
Traumatizing?
Yeah.
No. I know some people get freaked out by insects. I don't really care. That doesn't bother me either way. So
I was listening to Howard Stern this morning again, and he was talking about, I think it was like on one of the Sternthology, where he was talking about a vacation he took with his wife. I think they were in Turks and Caicos, and they stayed like in a rental house, and it had ants, but he and his wife went into the bedroom to meditate after they did something. They were both sitting on the bed, and he said he was like feeling like a little itchy, and then he didn't want to say anything to his wife because they're meditating. You're not supposed to talk while they're meditating. So at some point his wife says to him, "Are you itchy?" And he's like, "Yeah." Like he thought maybe it was like the air quality or something. And they looked down, and there was like a swarm. They're covered in these minuscule ants, but like covered in them. Like there's thousands of ants. And then they kept finding, they kept popping up in different places, thousands of ants, these little tiny ants. And then the place was saying, "Oh, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it." And they would come in, and then they would come back, and it would be clean, no ants. It would be perfectly great. But then he was noticing that he was starting to not feel good. His wife had swollen glands, and he was having headaches. So at one point, his wife looked in the garbage, and it was like the spray of whatever they were spraying, like some chemical to get rid of the ants.
Oh God!
And it was like they were like,
so
"Oh
the
my
ants
God!"
are gone, and now they have like
Yeah, they're like being poisoned. So it reminded
God.
me of I had a couple of ant things happen. There was this one time when I was in a motel room, when I was with my ex from my youth, who you know, because our parents didn't like his mom. My mom didn't like him, and his mom in turn didn't like me. So we weren't allowed to hang out at each other's houses. So even just to hang out and watch TV, we'd have to go rent a motel room.
Oh God!
So I think we slept there one night. Fell asleep.
I'm thinking you're not watching a lot of TV in the motel room, though.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's definitely fucking going on. But one night, he got up. He left before me in the morning. I don't know. I woke up in the morning though. We would get food. We'd bring it to the room, and so I had a muffin on the night table, and I grabbed the muffin, and I took a bite in the morning, and I was like, "Ow!" Like, and it hurt my lip. Something hurt my lip, and I wiped, and I looked, and there was an ant on my face, and then I looked at the muffin. It was covered in ants, and I had bitten it and eaten. I was chewing and ate it.
They were in your mouth?
Oh, yeah, it was covered in ants, and I grabbed it and I ate it. It was so fucking
As you're
gross.
chewing it up and like, wow, this muffin seems a little extra crunchy.
It wasn't even that. It was that it was the bite that I felt. The fucking ant bit me.
Oh, shit.
Because I bit it.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I'll show you. Oh, yeah, take that.
Oh, God, that was so fucking gross. I mean, like, I remember how disgusted. Oh, and you can't, like, and I'd already swallowed, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, my God.
Now they're in you.
Yes, I'll never forget that. I don't care how much dementia I get, I will never forget that.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, that was
pretty nasty.
awful. Do you remember last year what happened when we were putting our curtains back up on our gazebo after when the spring was starting?
Yeah, so those were like
that was
carpenter ants.
traumatic. I've never experienced anything like it.
We have this storage shed on the property, and we had taken all the furniture and lawn stuff and all that stuff goes in there. And in the spring, we went to take everything out of it and start putting together the outside stuff again. And all of the like canvas sides and curtains and stuff that go on this gazebo were folded up and put in there. And as we're unfolding them and kind of spreading them out on the lawn, they were just completely covered in, like, there must have been a nest of what looked to be like carpenter ants. I guess the big black ants.
The big ones. But it wasn't just the ants.
There was a nest in there, and all of their eggs, they're unhatched.
These giant white.
They were like these white, like they look kind of almost like pieces of rice.
Yeah, but right, but they were round, and these carpenter ants were protecting these eggs like they were like bears. And
oh yeah, they were fierce, man.
They were
like
fierce.
chasing us.
Yes, like they would not try to run away from the eggs. They were running with the eggs.
Right.
And so as soon as I saw them, I actually
there were
screamed.
Thousands of them, right?
Yeah, and
Thousands.
I fucking screamed.
I know, you went crazy. I'm like, oh my God, they're just ants though.
No, but because it was like we unfolded this blanket, this curtain, and it was like they were inside of it, and it wasn't like, it was a surprise because we take this thing out every single year, and we've never had this happen.
Also, the other thing is, like, as you're unfolding it, it's kind of like stretching across your body, and like, so now we're like brushing ourselves off, and we're thinking
These
like
fucking eggs.
Yeah. And the carpenter ants are big, man, and they
Giant.
got some serious like pinchers on the front. Like,
Yeah.
They will give you a really good, solid bite.
Yeah.
you know?
So now they're falling to the ground. They're at the gazebo area. And I'm getting more and more disgusted because so are the eggs. There are these eggs and ants now all over the place. So now you bring the curtain into the backyard and you sprayed it, right, with a hose or something? Or what did you do?
Something, yeah.
You shook it out?
I shook it.
into the
I shook
furthest,
it.
like,
But
back in the yard.
Yeah, but once I shook it, though, like, they all went flying.
Everywhere.
So now there's, like, thousands of ants that are, like, they're spread across the lawn. And no matter where you look, you see these giant ants, like, and
With moving eggs.
they're like, yeah, the whole lawn looked like it was moving. It was like, I'm like, what the fuck? There was thousands of them.
And despite the fact that you had brought all the ants out to the furthest part of the yard and got them on the lawn,
Yeah.
when you cleaned, do you remember when you got them all off of the curtains,
Yeah.
and then we finally hung the curtains? Those motherfuckers found their way back.
They came all the way across the property. They must have gone, like, I don't even know how far.
They're like, oh no, I like this curtain.
I don't know how they found their way back, but they came like all the way back to the gazebo. It's probably got to
be on the curtain.
100 feet and through the grass. I mean, like, how would they even be able to find their way back over there?
Yep.
It's in a different place. Like, they
Yeah.
were just in a shed,
Right.
for months, put away for the winter. And now, like, they wanted to be back on those curtains. And
Yes.
they're, like, crawling up the curtain.
Back
like,
to the
what-
curtains.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
They're, like, very persistent, right?
Yes, and so I was constantly spraying shit, trying to kill them, and like I was putting stuff in the ground, like, because they just they kept coming,
I know.
and they wouldn't stop. They were on the concrete. It was
It's like an invasion.
It was an
The
invasion. It was
ant-invasion.
so fucking disgusting. I remember one time I went to into Florida. My dad and my mom both had a condo in the same building in the same complex, like that they would do in the winter. So my dad wasn't at his place, but I was going to visit, and I went to stay at my dad's place, so I would have the place alone. So I get there, it was vacant, and I get there, and I get stuff set up. I go to put back the bed to get into the bed, and when I pulled back the blankets, in the bed was fucking loaded with ants.
Oh my God! Yeah, Florida's got some crazy
Oh,
insects,
my
man.
God.
But the ants down there will bite the shit out of you.
Yeah.
The fire ants.
Yeah.
Like they send people to the hospital. People die from those bites because they have like a venom in them. You know, like a bee sting.
Ugh.
And have you ever been bitten by one of those?
No.
Oh my God, it feels like a bee sting. But it hurts bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
They'll
God.
attack you. What they do, those things, it's like they'll crawl all over you and they won't bite you until they're all like a lot of them are on you, and then like they release some sort of pheromone or
Yeah.
some sort of signal to communicate.
Yeah,
And
go!
they all sting you at once.
Oh, God.
So like you could be covered in them, you don't even know they're on you. And then all of a sudden, it's like somebody like says, "Okay," and it's like bang, and everybody just bites you at one time, and you're like, "Ah!" Yeah, and that's why a
God.
lot of people wind up going to the hospital because they don't get like one bite; they get like
Yeah.
50 bites at once.
Oh,
You
God.
know?
So
Yeah.
gross. I remember that shit too. I was like spraying Windex and trying to like kill them all over the place. And then there was like 2 different kind of ants in there. And then there was like sheets in the closet and they had different ants on them. Like, God.
Yeah, they have some crazy.
I
bugs
couldn't
down
sleep
there.
good that night. Like I was like sitting up in bed, like with my eyes open.
Yeah, that's
all
the
night
one thing
long.
about hot climates like that, especially like Florida in particular, and all like the southern states down there. Like if you're in Louisiana and places like that that have like swamps and really wet, hot climates. They got some crazy insects, man. They got shit that will kill you. Like giant spiders and scorpions and fucking ants and like stuff. We don't have any of that stuff.
Oh, your
up here.
son thinks he knows everything right about now. He's like, yeah, man, I'm getting away from the family. I'm going to Florida to college. I'm on my own for the first
he's gonna
time.
deal with-
Everything's going to be great.
Deal with the fire ants.
I can't wait till he starts experiencing some of the wildlife right
Yeah, there's a
outside
lot
his
of
front door.
wildlife in Florida,
Oh,
that's
my
right.
God. He's
getting
in for a
ready to
surprise.
Ship out to college next month.
He's
in
like,
Florida.
yeah, I'm getting away from the snow. Okay.
Yeah.
You let me
Away
know how
from
that goes for
away
you.
from the snow and into the tarantulas. That's cool.
Oh, God, he's going to be crying.
All right, wifey.
Well, the good news is, the good news is that I have a lot more to talk about, which means that we'll just put it off till Tip Tuesday.
Tip Tuesday!
Tip Tuesday's coming up. That's right.
Yeah.
Just a couple days away.
Yeah.
So that means you guys got to send us in your questions on Facebook and Twitter and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and there were questions that we didn't get to on the last Tip
Yeah, we
Tuesday.
have some leftovers.
We didn't forget about you people. I still got those questions and the answers.
If you didn't hear them answer last time, just tune in this Tuesday coming up.
Oh, you know what I forgot to do?
Get you back.
I forgot live phone calls. You know what? We're going to do it the next time. I swear to fucking God.
Yeah, I think the live phone calls will be fun.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it
On the
this time.
Facebook call, right?
Yeah, but I just got so distracted with flapping my jibs, I completely forgot.
Yeah, you run away with the mouth type.
I know,
thing
it was
going on
just like, fuck the hammer. It's the Nails podcast today.
there. Oh yeah, I see how
Sorry
it goes.
about that.
Real
I don't
nice.
know. Well, yours like sleepy, and I got a lot on my mind. I just kind of I trampled all over you.
Yeah, he just ran me right over.
Yeah, but then again, I am the one with the list of things to talk about.
There you go.
You just kind of show up.
Yep. From time to time, I walk in and say, "Okay, I'm ready. Let's go."
What do you got?
Yeah. I just like sitting down and talking with you. It's not too often that we, always get a chance to do that.
It is
so.
a nice thing for us, actually, that we actually
Yeah.
get to just sit and all we're doing is talking to each
Yeah.
other. I like it.
That's good.
I
We
love
can catch
you.
up on stuff.
Love you.
Ah, I love you, wifey.
Love you so much.
And we love you guys too.
We
And
love you
that
guys,
coming back and checking out our podcast every week. Make sure you tell your friends.
You know what we love? We love when you go to hammerandnailspodcast.com and you guys use our Amazon banner at the top to shop at Amazon. Please, please remember to do that. Even if you do it right this very second, just go to the banner, drag it up to your bookmark bar, and then click on it every time you want to shop at Amazon. It's that easy. Then you don't have to go to the website anymore if you don't want to.
There you go.
And it makes us really happy.
Makes us so
Make
happy.
me feel so happy. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys who contribute to the podcast. Thank you for the Amazon people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for telling a friend. Thank you for going onto iTunes and giving us a 5-star rating. Thank you for giving us good
Yeah, we're
reviews.
getting a lot of those. We really appreciate
Yeah.
it. And of course, we appreciate you guys spreading the word about the podcast. And we will catch up with you on the next episode.
Yes, we will. Love you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.